Back when I first used to get started, I used to go into forums and try to give advice to people, shit like that. I didn't do it very long because there's a lot of wannabe know-it-alls and gurus in there that say some really dumb shit, and I don't like getting in keyboard wars. I'd rather just say it to your fucking face. So I just went another route instead of going into forums. For example, one time, this has been years ago, somebody was commenting that they had pulled calories away and they'd hit a plateau losing weight and they couldn't lose any more weight. And the calories were already pretty low. I can't remember the exact number. I think it was around 1,200 or something. And somebody answered, just take more calories out. And I responded, that may not actually be the best choice because of the reasons I'm getting ready to explain to you here in a minute. Because that's not always, taking away is not always the best answer. But I came in and gave some sort of an explanation about how metabolism works and how you have to feed it, all this bullshit. And the guy's response was, look at the people in the concentration camps. They were starved and they died. Alright. That's not even comparable. That's like... I just left it at that. I didn't want a response. I knew this guy was just going to go back and forth, but... Like, out of all the things you can pick out to try as a comparison, that's like the worst one. First off, if you research, like, the life expectancy of somebody that was in one of the concentration camps, it's anywhere from a day to 3 years. Not only were they starved, but they were worked excessively and were put through all kinds of experiments, gas chambers, all kinds of stuff. So there was, like, so many variables that contributed to their deaths that you can't just say, oh, they all died because of starving. Even though that was a huge contributing factor to it, like, you're pulling one thing out of a huge equation and saying, trying to relate it to this, and that's not even comparable. There was more going on than just starving, and it still took some of them years before they died. That being said, let me go into this explanation so you guys can see where I'm coming from. So, hopefully you can see the graph. Time, metabolism. You have a baseline, according to your body composition, what you do that day, all that shit. A baseline requirement for calories you need to maintain where you're at. The green line's your diet, food you eat. You know, this is a person trying to lose weight, so it's set a little bit below the baseline. Now what happens is you can't set too much of a deficit because then your body starts adjusting the metabolism because your body does not want to die. Otherwise, you can take all your food out and be dead within days. But honestly, if you look it up, when I last researched it, they say people can go up to 3 weeks without food as long as they keep getting in water. How much food you need in a day is dictated by a bunch of variables like body composition, how much muscle you have, how much body fat you have, how much you move around, if you exercise, if you need recovery or repair in the body, all kinds of shit. So not every person is going to be a case-by-case basis. If you drop your calories way low, it'll work temporarily, but then your body starts adjusting by lowering the metabolism. And usually it does that by slowing it down. It can also burn muscle mass because it takes more calories to maintain muscle than it does fat. So it's easier to adjust out your caloric requirements by burning off muscle. Now, you might be calling bullshit on this, but you know how many people I've interviewed and talked to that are overweight and only eat once a day? I mean, if just taking calories out was the answer, you could eat once a day every day and just lose weight. And your metabolism will stay the same and you would just continuously lose weight. And after a few weeks, you could stop it and eat normal and maintain it. But it doesn't work like that. Usually, when you pull a lot of food out, you lose some weight, your body then slows down the metabolism to adjust. You put your normal amount of food back in and you blow the fuck up because your baseline is now here and you're eating back up to here and you have a rebound effect. And that's why that happens. If everybody's metabolism was set in stone and you put them in a camp and took away their food and worked them excessively, they would die in no time. It would take, I mean, I couldn't tell you particularly, but it would take a lot shorter than 3 fucking years. If what that guy was saying was true, she wouldn't have to pull any more calories out to lose weight. She could just keep it where it is and she would continuously keep losing weight. But it doesn't happen. You lose some weight and it comes to a dead halt or starts slowing down, and then you do more and take more calories out, then it slows down, and over time what you're seeing is you end up having to eat less and do more to get the same amount of change out of your body. The human body is resilient. It can go through a lot, and if you start taking away the calories too much, it will adjust. You have to know how the body works. plus, when you're losing weight, most people are trying to lose body fat, not numbers. So that's a whole different ballgame than just taking calories away. There's certain elements that have to be in place in order for that to happen, to maintain your muscle mass and lose body fat. The more muscle you have, the less body fat you have, the faster your metabolism is. So you can increase your metabolism by dieting and end up having to eat more food so you don't go too far in a deficit and come to a dead halt. What this guy was saying was true, was just keep the calories out, because people in the concentration camps died from not eating. Then you could waste away eating 1 meal a day. And if you didn't start putting food back in, you would eventually die. But that doesn't happen. People eat 1 meal a day. They may get some results. They may get bigger because what they eat is crap and their metabolism slow down, and they end up living a long time. But they never lose any more weight until they start eating more food. There's actually, most of the people I talk to only eat like once or twice a day. So why aren't those people dead? I hope that clears some things up to you. I use this as a way to kind of teach you how the metabolism adjusts to what you're doing, and why taking things out of the diet and doing more isn't always the answer that can actually set you backwards. And just showing that trying to compare losing some belly fat to somebody in a camp getting overworked, experimenting on gas to death, starved, it's not comparable. That was probably the dumbest fucking thing I've heard somebody say in a forum.